Well.
Welcome back. Good to see you again.
My dogs immediately start barking as soon as we start recording.
I love that. Mine are both taking naps right now.
Yeah, mine were very quiet, and then all of a sudden we got quiet, and they didn't like what they heard.
Yeah.
So speaking of things that don't work out well for technology, let's talk about something that happened to me this week.
Okay.
I was hosting a trivia night, doing a local trivia night. Great crowd, went well. It was music trivia, so everybody had a fun time. Doesn't make
music
people
bingo?
that angry. Not necessarily. No.
Okay. Cool.
I've done music bingo, but this was like a mix of trivia questions, name that tune.
That sounds fun.
Bounced around.
Nice.
Yeah. But the way that I was doing it at this particular establishment, you connected via Bluetooth with your phone. I was playing everything off my phone. It was going fine.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden, in the middle of aforementioned Name That Tune segments, I'm on song 9. I'm about to start it.
Yeah.
And something much louder and completely random is playing through the entire restaurant.
Coming through your phone?
This is a brewery, and it's a brewery with food, so it's a restaurant. But it's very long, loud, and hollowed out. Remember where Soaring Ridge was?
Yeah.
Twisted Track. So, brew pub. I don't know if you've been there. Shout out to Twisted Track. We had a great time. But at that exact moment, the entire room is looking at me like, what did we do to you?
Yeah, like, why are you doing this to us? Quit assaulting us with sound.
The worst part is, think of it like one rectangle. I'm on this end on the stage. To fix the Bluetooth, it is on the clear other side of the building.
Oh,
so I have to walk. I traverse this whole room.
As everyone is staring at you.
Wondering why there's an incomprehensible. It's not even a song. It's not even like another song. Right, it's like at the wrong volume. It's just like,
what is it?
Obviously some weird noise. Okay. Like it's a video or something. We don't even. I don't know what it was. But as I'm walking to the back, I'm telling everybody as I pass, I'm like, I'm not doing this. This isn't me. I know how phones work. And then I walk up to the bartender who's like in charge. The head of the bar room, and she's like, "Oh yeah, it's kind of loud," and I'm like, "That's not me." And like,
it is.
Could 2 or 3 staff members, somebody had just, I think an employee's phone had just started playing a video or something, and they had automatically reconnected to the Bluetooth.
Yeah, they're probably used to connecting to play music for the restaurant or whatever normally when you're not there. And it probably auto connected or something without them realizing it, and then just took over. That's wild.
Well, and they're not supposed to be connected as employees, so maybe somebody got caught sort of using the after hours Bluetooth when they close. NBA Finals, NHL, NFL, F1, all coming up.
Welcome to Wit and Grit, where Ian and Sean break down sports betting, pop culture, or whatever's on their minds. The Wit and Grit Podcast.
All right. I know we don't talk a ton of hockey, but I feel like we got to give the Florida Panthers their props here. So let's start on the ice. Florida Panthers, 2025 Stanley Cup champions. Back-to-back, and they just dominated in Game 6 with that win, 5-1 over Edmonton. Can't hear you.
We don't pay a lot of attention to hockey, but we called it. We said the Panthers were the play. That was all you. Yep. I leaned on your hockey knowledge. Most of the hockey I watch is SPHL. So
gotcha. Yeah, no, shout out to Sam Bennett. They gave him the Conn Smythe Trophy. He was just all over it in the playoffs. And they proved that their style of hockey, kind of that dirtbag hockey, if you will, it can be a strategy. I mean, it's won them back-to-back cups now. So they could do it next year, too. I think my early money would be on them to three-peat, honestly.
Really? You think the Panthers are going to three-peat?
I don't see why not, man. As long as they don't lose many big pieces. With Reinhart playing like he did, 4 goals in that cup win. That's in the clinching game. That's insane. I mean,
In perfect Panthers fashion, the cup itself got cracked during celebrations. Apparently, the bottom base took a dent and the bowl got split. I mean, if you don't damage the trophy, did you even really win?
Yeah, and that's what I mean. That's like the Panthers style, you know? They just kind of own their identity. They lean into that sort of chaos. They get out on top again. But I know we talked earlier in the season, earlier in this run, really, about McDavid. I was telling you, yeah, the Panthers are really good, but the Edmonton Oilers have the best player in the world, Connor McDavid. But he still hasn't won a trophy. I mean, what do you think about that?
How many years in?
Well, this is now I actually don't know off the top of my head. But I mean, in terms of, do you think this run was more about Florida's dominance or about McDavid not getting over that kind of hump?
At 28 years old, you're asking some questions.
Right.
McDavid was incredible. I mean, made history again, but this Panthers team is built to wear you down, and they finished this time. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, Yeah, he could still go down as like an all-time great, even though he hasn't won it yet. But I mean, you're getting into that conversation with like the Barclays and the Marinos, right? Like, yeah, can you truly give him the crown if he doesn't have the ring? Like, but you can't deny that he's one of the best to ever play the sport. So it's an interesting spot that we find ourselves in with Connor McDavid. Again, it's like the same conversation as last year.
When you could argue that, you know, it's sort of a Lamar Jackson situation.
Yeah, that's a good comp right now, actually. Yeah, maybe the best athlete, maybe the best player in the league, but can't get over that playoff hump to just bring home the big trophy.
We're not talking NFL right now, but this is a perfect time to mention the whole Jair Alexander
That's exactly
signing.
what I'm going to say, yeah. And then the Ravens, they're looking like they might be a favorite too. I don't know.
I have never seen reporters tweet with such malice about took a big discount to go to his buddy Lamar's team to the Ravens. This dumb idiot could have got a bunch of money to go to the Carolina Panthers. Like, I don't know if it was exactly Adam Schefter, but some of the main people putting out this news were just like their off-season day was ruined because it would have been more interesting if he went to a team for a large contract. But he just went to play with his buddy on a team that's already really good that is probably going to get better now. Yep.
I mean, they're good. They're definitely going to get better now. There's really no denying that. Jair Alexander is an elite talent, that corner.
Well, that's awesome. It's perceived talent is what it is, though. It's perceived talent. He's at the top of the market right now because he all of a sudden was available. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It wasn't when there was like a bunch of time to evaluate and things like that. It was all the people who were left out in the cold. Now he's available. Go get him still. Like, you're running out of time.
And
the
so,
to use help at every position.
Put a bow on the hockey thing, being left out on the cold. The Edmonton has to just be beside themselves now. Two times in a row that a team in Canada has lost to the Florida Panthers. Like, that's Canada's sport, man. That's ice hockey. And yet this team that plays in a swamp in South Florida has beaten Canada in back-to-back years. It's pretty crazy. But congrats to the Panthers, man. That's impressive. Back-to-back championships in any sport is very difficult to do. So kudos to them.
I mean, the Edmonton Oilers colors look like another team, a Jim Kelly team that showed up a lot and didn't win it. And as most sports shows would tell you, it has been 32 years since a Canadian team last won the Stanley Cup.
Yep.
It's happened in our lifetime, but, you know, it's been a minute. Let's switch gears to the hardwood. NBA Finals, Game 6 going down tonight.
Yes, Oklahoma City up 3-2 after a massive Game 5 win on the road. Jalen Williams dropping 40, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander 31 with 10 assists. Team is young, hungry, and fearless, man. They're doing it with poise, like kind of beyond their years. They're playing above, like with their head over water. It's cool.
And if you follow All In with Ian, the Substack, you made money on it because we hit 5 of our 7 AI reported props. Team
Very
total
nice.
over. We missed on Alex Caruso. We had Jalen Williams to make more than 4.5 free throws. I think I'm going to go back to that well today. More on that in a minute.
Okay.
Jalen Williams over 27.5 points and assists. He cleared it, got 40, had a great game.
Insane.
And today I'm writing this one. Shout out to @Fiddle's Picks on Twitter. It's Michael Fiddle. Yeah, it's a great username. It's a great username. Fiddle's Picks. Yeah. He does the Advantage Sports Betting Podcast. He shows up on other podcasts. He put out the idea that with Tyrese Haliburton, questionable with that calf injury, I've heard it could be, if it's a grade 2 strain, expect him to play and not be very effective. If it's a grade 1 strain, expect him to play and be like a slightly more effective, but still not that effective. Like there's no good there's not a lot of good upside here if it is what they say it is.
I mean, the one story that comes to mind when there was a big playoff game and a star player that was on the fence about whether or not he could play. Like, I know this is a stretch, but the Jordan flu game,
you're going too far back. You're going too far back.
If Haliburton plays,
Jamal Murray this playoff.
But this is the one that comes to mind.
No, but I mean, what was Jamal Murray's? I think it was the same injury.
Well, regardless, it's kind of the chance to have like kind of that legacy building moment, really ink himself into the Pacers and NBA lore in front of the home crowd too. So I think he's going to do everything he can to go. He's got, ages and ages to go before he can be compared to Jordan, but just moments like that are cool to compare,
Oh no, he only had an illness. Yeah, when a player has an illness and all of a sudden plays through it, I expect them to kind of have a Herculean effort. Right. Haliburton's hurt.
I know. It's different. I know it's different, but it's a similar narrative lining up.
And a lot of us have been betting the under on his assist since he was healthy. So I don't think he's going to get hurt and get better assists. You know what I'm saying?
No.
If he can't score and he can't get assists.
Yeah.
My name's Tyrese Haliburton, and I get boards only.
But what if he does? Jump? What if he does come out there and just lights it up somehow, and it is that moment for him? That'd be crazy.
People who watch the NBA and put money into it and research it will lose money. Meanwhile, people who aren't paying attention and just saw a cool bet boost on one of their favorite books and saw, oh, Haliburton only 15 points, will be like, yeah, of course that cashed. And then they'll talk to someone after the game. They'll be like, dude, he was hurt.
Yeah.
But that's the question. I am seeing a lot of bet boost out there right now, and that is always worth mentioning when we talk about this stuff.
For sure.
The books, what do the books know? More than us.
That's right. Speaking of, I don't know if you did a disclaimer for that.
I'm going to in a second.
Sweet.
How about you want to do it now? You brought it up.
Hit it up.
Gambling should be a hobby. It should not be a liability. Gamble responsibly. We are giving you advice on how we are spending our bets. We are not financial advisors. This should not constitute financial advice. If you need help in Virginia, 888-532-3500. North Carolina, 877-718-5543. National number 1-800-GAMBLER. Visit ncpgambling.org. All of your books have tools that you can freeze your account if you know you're just not having a good month. I know a lot of people. I know at least 2 people who have frozen their accounts this month because it has been a bad month, and they just said, we got to stop the bleeding.
2.
2 people who openly admitted that to me in conversation. Okay. How's that?
Fair enough. Yeah.
We know one of them.
Going from a lot to 2 was crazy.
Well, that's
it's
lot.
All good. It's all good.
That's a lot. You got to think about the people who have a problem, are open to identifying it, and open to identifying it to someone else.
Yeah.
Limit your sample.
Yep.
But I'm just saying that use those tools if you're just not making the best decisions. If you freeze your account, there's not really a way to undo it. You have to wait the time period you set it for, and you can sit back and enjoy sports again.
Yeah.
If you feel like you've got a good handle on it, though, let's look at what we're looking at tonight.
Let's see.
I don't even have my Substack out yet, so the podcast got it first.
All right.
We're going to talk about some of our best bets. What I did for the last game, Sean, pretty interesting. Pull up the Substack if you haven't seen it in a while. I finally got all the fonts and colors and everything right. I didn't just leave it all basic and white.
Oh, I see.
Yeah,
nice.
Yeah,
it looks good.
Okay, so but what I did on the last article we had was we did the AI confidence report. Essentially, I took all the props I bet one way or another, and I let AI sort them by our confidence level. And one of our good friends reached out, Jersey Justin, who, this is a tease, might be joining us in the fall. I've been talking to him. I think he's finally ready to come on a little bit when we start getting to the NFL. So,
oh man, that'll be fun.
That's gonna be electric.
Yeah.
But he texted me. He's like 5 out of 7. Nice, not bad. It's like 63 to 70% ROI, depending how you did your units, right? So, what bets do we like tonight? Well, the Pacers are dead. Unless Haliburton does the thing Sean's talking about, the Pacers are dead.
Could be his hero arc.
Is there funeral tonight? Is there funeral game 7? I think it could be tonight. Spread went to 6.5 after Tyrese Haliburton's injury was confirmed. It was at 4.5 at one point. Market movement suggests the Thunder are heavy favorites. I am looking at possibly betting an alt. So you will want to subscribe to the Substack. All you have to do is give me your email address. Just, you can read it in your email. It's very easy. But if I end up making that bet, I'll let you guys know what it is. Taking an alt line like 14.5, 17.5. If you think the Thunder are going to do Thunder-like things and just crush the Pacers tonight, that's how you could spend a little bit of money, get 3-1 on like a singular bet.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
2 or 3 games ago, that cashed this series. They usually do it once or twice a series, running out of games. So my number one bet, though, Thunder minus 6.5. Then if you want to take the Thunder over on 114.5, that's a good way to kind of back the over without getting screwed by the Pacers.
Yep.
Because when the Thunder blow out teams, they put up like 140. So
they can
Tyrese
score.
Haliburton. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was going to say, I just putting a bow on that. They could score. Like they've got between SGA and like Jalen Williams. I mean, they could put up big points.
And even if Haliburton plays, the Pacers defense leaks without Haliburton.
Oh yeah.
Thunder poured it on in game 5.
Yes.
Tyrese Haliburton under 6.5 assists. I think one book had this at plus 100. Why? As I mentioned to start the segment, we were fading Tyrese Haliburton on assists before he got injured. Why would we expect those to go up?
I mean, you can make the argument that if he's going to play, he might not be making as many of his own shots and just kind of feed the rest of the team.
I think it's got more to do with once you get this far into a series, your adjustments have been made.
Yeah.
You've pretty much played all of your cards. You're running out of lineups. They figured out how to keep Haliburton down. You're not getting game 1 or game 3 again.
Sure. Okay. Fair.
That's just how I feel about it.
I
mean, you're right about one thing. There's a very good chance that if you were making your picks for this series based on narrative, you would have picked game 1 Pacers, which would have been a shock to literally every other stat. I can't remember what the stat was, but it was like 400-0. And now they're the one. They're the one that did it. But you could, if you do narrative-based bets, game 1, and then this one, because Haliburton's not going to play. Is he injured? And then all of a sudden he has so, if you believe in witchcraft betting, that's something.
And to mention a bet we made a couple episodes ago, maybe if OKC does close this out, our little championship parlay, Panthers Thunder. Remember?
We gave it out. We told you guys, Panthers Thunder. Don't overthink it. Tie the favorites and get a decent number. Yeah.
Yep.
Boom, boom, boom.
We're almost there.
While we're tooting horns, hold on.
Ringing bells, tooting horns.
Yeah, I don't have an actual horn. I just have a bell.
We got to get one.
One of the bets I put in, game 4 Thunder, Thunder to win the series. Still alive, very active. I had game 3 Pacers, Thunder to win the series. Still active. I have the Thunder bet we gave out during the championship round at minus 110. Still active. So when the Thunders finally win this championship, I'll be having my own parade.
Let's go. All right.
Get some money back. I've been betting the Thunder to win this series every which way from Sunday. Let's go.
Yeah, they've been the dominant team all year, man. It's been a smart pick.
Jalen Williams over 28.5 points and assists. We just talked about how he already did it. We're expecting him to do at least that much of this time again. Pascal Siakam over 21.5 points. That drops to my 5th best bet because I'm only finding it at like minus 120. It's juiced. I don't think Siakam goes down sitting. I think he will try really hard to put up some points, but they're also expecting it. Chet Holmgren over 9.5 rebounds. This series really changed when this became more of his job. Oh, get the really tall guy to get some rebounds. Imagine that. Averaging 13.4 rebounds per games in the series with 11 and 15 in the last 2 games. So over 9.5 is still good juice. Pacers struggle on the glass versus OKC lineup. He dominates boards. There's also the super boost on Bet365 if that's a book you use. It's a limited number you can always use on the super boost, but I love it. SGA 25 plus points, J-Dub 25 plus points. They're giving you plus 200.
Nice.
But you can't get much down on it, but it's always nice to throw that in if it looks like a good bet. So those are the bets. I don't know how exactly I'm going to pair those legs up and do a couple little parlays. I'm definitely going to bet more on the straights. Tune into the Substack to see how that unfolds later today when I have, frankly, time.
Busy day for you, huh?
Day's been happening. So let's see. I guess we can move on.
Speaking of making good time, you want to talk some F1?
Yep.
Nice. That was sick.
Like that was a real sound effect.
That was sick.
Picture this. Okay, quick pit stop to look at the Canadian Grand Prix last Sunday, but not just for the headlines, because Mercedes delivered a statement win.
Yes.
Cirque du Villeneuve is on its feet, and George Russell climbs out of the car, throws his fists in the air, and hits the T-pose. Not once, twice. He's back on top of the podium for the first time this season.
All right. Well done. And Verstappen right behind him, Piastri in third, but the real story, Mercedes.
No question. It wasn't just Russell. Kimi Antonelli, the rookie, who's bouncing F1 in school, took third, his first ever podium. And at 18, he's now the third youngest to do it in F1 history.
That's pretty insane, to be honest, especially after the brutal triple header run. Just 18 points across 3 races. They needed this.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Mercedes was lost in the midfield for a while, but in Montreal, the Silver Arrows came alive. They reintroduced a refined rear suspension originally tied to Imola, and the cooler weather plus smoother tarmac worked in their favor. Russell led from lights out. Antonelli made a slick move on Piastri, and both held strong to bring home that double podium. We were just talking about how we had seen so many McLaren double podiums that Brown wasn't even going up to stand up there the last time they sent the engineer. All of a sudden, Mercedes goes from not being able to get George Russell on a podium to getting both guys and another.
Yep, they went from struggling earlier in the season to, like you said, double podium. Meanwhile, McLaren imploded late in this race.
Yeah. Lando Norris went for a late dive on his teammate, Oscar Piastri, and clipped him. Lando straight into the wall, race over.
Yeah.
All he had to do was just ride behind his teammate. He made a bet. He immediately called it, right?
It was so dumb. Yeah, right. He got on the radio and said, that was stupid. That's on me. I shouldn't have done that. But like, why, dude? I was so upset watching that, man. Like, I was rooting for him to win the race. I knew he wasn't going to win the race, but I certainly didn't want him to get knocked out there. You know, still scoring would have been nice. It was immature racing, really. It's kind of what it looked like to me. Like he still just has a little bit of growing up to do as a driver, I think.
Costly too. It drops Norris back in the standings and gives Verstappen and Russell a chance to close in.
Speaking of Max, now he's got a little more pressure because going into the Austrian Grand Prix next weekend, the 27th through the 29th, I believe it is, Red Bull Ring in Spielberg, that's his home turf.
Man, I think it's in Spralberg.
Spralberg. Yes.
Spralberg.
Spielberg. There's no R
spelled
in there.
Just like Steven Spielberg, though.
There you go.
To your credit.
I don't think there's an R there, though. In the front part of the word. But anyway.
Spalberg. Oh, Spalberg.
I think that's right. Spalberg, something like that. Anyway.
We love Austria. Shout out to all our Austrian fans.
Yeah.
Max's home turf, but Red Bull isn't untouchable anymore. McLaren's fast. Ferrari's lurking. And then Mercedes is back in the conversation. I mean, they had that rear suspension thing worked out for Imola, and they're like, we got to rework it. So they took it off for the last 2 Spanish races, like the European races. Then they had the week off. They brought it over to Canada where it was cooler, the smoother tarmac, and they were like, this is the time to use it. That's the benefit of being on a team like Mercedes.
Right.
They have that kind of, they're going to make improvements that have a big jump. These midfield teams have an improvement all the time. They're always like, we got something new. We got something new. Still midfield.
Yep. These guys, I mean, right now, if you look at the landscape of F1, really, you've got you've got McLaren, Mercedes, Ferrari, and Max Verstappen. That's kind of like, the big hits right now, right?
Yep.
So the ones on top seem to keep things pretty streamlined, to your point, not make a ton of changes with reintroducing these parts and stuff like that in the middle of the season. So yeah, I think you stick with what's working and, get a little consistency going with the car and everything, and can work out better for you that way.
Do you realize what Mercedes did by getting that double podium?
What's that?
Here's the 2025 constructor standings. McLaren at 374.
Right.
In first.
Yep.
Mercedes jumped Ferrari for second place in the constructor standings, 199.
Wow. Okay, that is... Yeah, and then Ferrari is sitting at what?
183.
Okay.
They're third.
Okay. Jeez.
And don't tell anybody now, but Isaac Hadjar, who everyone just kind of seems to call Isaac, but when he says his name, he says Isak. I don't know.
That's probably his accent or something, but yeah.
Yeah, they're all from different countries, right?
It's true.
Red Bull Racing, though. Red Bull Racing,
yes.
162 is Max on his own. The Racing Bulls, though, like I was saying, 28, tied with Haas. Williams is in fifth with 55. But if the Racing Bulls can close that gap, Alpine not really doing as much as everyone expected. They have not turned anything around. They're in 10th.
Yeah. Yep. Aston Martin struggling.
Kick Sauber is in 9th, right behind Aston Martin. So
mm-hmm.
It pretty much is Racing Bulls and up right now. Barring any kind of, honestly,
it seems like it's Red Bull and up.
I think Sauber might have gotten all those points from Nico Hülkenberg getting into 5th that last race. Yeah, that might have been all their points. I think
you're right. Yeah.
So they just recently joined the conversation.
Yeah, but it seems to me like it's a race between McLaren, Mercedes, and Ferrari right now, with Red Bull sniffing around.
McLaren's in clear air right now.
Unless
Piastri and Norris fall off significantly. Right. I don't see how they're going to fall back enough in the constructor standings to lose. Piastri is looking like the winner of the drivers' championship.
Well, there's still about half the season left, right?
Yeah, but even if they don't keep winning races, do you think they're not going to podium? Do you think they're not going to points? They're not going to top six?
Yeah,
there's just such a lead.
That's true. So it's going to be very tough for them to fall out of that. You're right.
Yeah, I just feel like you know what they're going to have to do more of to really lose the constructors? What Norris did.
Yeah, more stupid stuff. Yeah, I don't think they're going to do more stupid stuff.
2 cars were locked in to get top 6 points, but instead now they got 1 set of top 6 points. Yeah, they'd have an even bigger lead. They wouldn't even be worried about Mercedes as much.
Yeah.
But still, it's worth noting the amount of points you get. It's 374 to 199.
Yeah, it's quite a gap. We're talking almost 200 points.
Okay, switching gears off the track. You were going to tell me about some EA Sports College Football 26?
Yeah, so something new that they announced a couple days ago, actually, that EA is going to be paying schools based on how often gamers play as those schools, which is kind of crazy.
All 136 FBS schools will get a cut depending on usage. So if players pick Ohio State a ton, OSU gets paid more. No more tiered system where money was based on past rankings. Is that better?
Exactly. It's a fresh model. Well, I guess we'll see. It's straight up supply and demand at this point. So the gamers pick, the schools earn. So it could really flip the NIL dynamics too. If your avatar in the game is trending, maybe you're going to make more money from your next NIL deal. You might literally see that increase your revenue. That's going to be pretty crazy.
I saw UCLA got excited on that front. They're practically telling fans, play as the Bruins, any help fund the program.
Right. Yeah. It's good fan engagement. But it raises questions, with the schools with the bigger fan bases. Are they just going to keep winning? And the schools with smaller programs might struggle to take advantage of this new system.
True.
Yeah. Yeah, so even if a school isn't chosen often, like the massive NFL, NIL budgets aren't going to grow without the gameplay traction. So I think the underdog programs should look at starting to like kind of market themselves in the game if that's possible. Like, use us in dynasty mode, like sort of thing. Like if you go to the games or are watching the games on TV, maybe you see an ad or they throw something in there, like stuff like that.
When did a video game become such an economic engine of schools and industry?
It's college football, baby. It's been about the money. What
you just proposed sounds like a small fix, but what that makes it is a financial ecosystem of sorts. There would be, they'd be paying out based on how many people were playing teams, so they've got a market. And then if the teams could spend that revenue in return, possibly even more than they're making to advertise for their school, now the game is taking in more money, giving out more money.
Yeah. Yep. It could be kind of a mutually beneficial thing. I'm interested to see how it goes. I'm a fan of a smaller program, the Charlotte 49ers, and that's who I played as in college football 25. That's who I'm going to play as in college football 26. So, I'll be doing my part to contribute.
I did my part.
Yeah. I'll be curious to see how it plays out. It'll be fun to watch.
Yeah. I think that, I don't know. It just feels like college football, college sports have become everything they hated.
Well, they've just become everything they always said they weren't.
Right. It's just if you went back 15 years and told us about all this, we'd be like, you're not in America. You're talking about something else, I think.
But it was all still happening. We were just, it wasn't being reported and there was more naivety around it.
Well, let's go to my segment called Stuff We're Going to Talk About real quick.
Ooh, that's my favorite segment.
Did you know that was the name of it?
No.
Well, it's a bad name, so you shouldn't have known that. I just got to make sure they actually have the stuff. Got to unzip a file,
Yeah, I know.
That's what live podcasting is.
Just unzipping files, huh?
That's all it is, really. Yeah. Just
unzip files and traffic zooming by the window.
I didn't say that. Did you say that?
Yeah, I'm living it.
Okay. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
I'm living it.
We can't get sued because that's not their phrase. All right, so I've got some pop culture. I've got some random. I've got some more pop culture right there. I got to pull that one up.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of pop culture. Do you want to do sports first or pop culture?
Let's keep on the sports for now since that's where we are.
Fantastic. I'd already hit go anyway.
Very nice.
Aaron Rodgers' family reportedly does not believe that he got married this offseason.
What does that mean?
Records show Rodgers is not married via the New York Post. What does that mean? Exactly why I brought it. I think he casually mentioned being married, and I think they just think he's making it up.
He didn't. He showed up with a wedding ring on, and so everyone is like, hey, he's married. But no, like, what? This is crazy.
Why?
His family doesn't believe it. Like, what does I need more than that.
We don't think that's true.
They're not denying it. They're not like, no, this didn't happen. They're like, we don't believe you. Nope.
Cleveland Browns rookie Shedeur Sanders, ticketed by police for going 101 miles per hour in a 60 mile per hour zone. Shout out to @Propter Malone on Blue Sky, who said that's nothing. A couple months ago, he went 144 when he was supposed to go 25.
That is some fantastic shade.
Also, on a football note, it's like, come on, Sanders, dude, you weren't even the highest drafted rookie quarterback on your own team.
Yeah. What are you driving so fast for? Like,
he probably thought that was the benefit of being in Cleveland.
And working hard and like, yeah.
That's the benefit of being in Cleveland. You get to just, it's like, I thought I could at least drive.
Man, but I would think he would want to be, hey, LaMelo.
Spoke with a reliable source.
Oh, wow.
Who told me at least one draft lottery pick refused to work out with the Hornets out of a desire not to play with LaMelo Ball. Sean Duiser.
I haven't heard that.
Savior.
Yeah.
That was from Mike Lacente. So that's what somebody told him.
I didn't realize that. I didn't hear that, and I've never heard of him being like any sort of locker room problem or anything like that. Like, he's got a big head.
Ball.
Yeah, he's got a big head.
His dad is like
Yeah,
alive,
no,
right?
I know. Like that's what I'm saying. Like him and his brothers and his dad, yeah, they got big heads, but like they're also good and talented at what they do respectively. So
Big baller brand, brother.
Right,
Big baller
right.
brand,
I mean, there's a fine line between confidence and arrogance, and I'm not so sure that LaMelo crosses it. That's kind of strange that someone would refuse to work out for an NBA team out of a desire to not play with him. But whatever.
Hey, at least you, as a guy that lives in Charlotte, were able to be unbiased about it. Thank you for that completely unbiased take, LaMelo Ball.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, it may not be a locker room problem. Maybe it's because he's always hurt. Maybe they don't want their best player on their team to be hurt.
You got me there. I got no dispute for you there.
How many Hornets games have we gone to? He's never playing.
Yeah, you haven't seen him yet.
I haven't seen him. I'm not even sure if he's good.
Yeah.
Springsteen, the movie Deliver Me from Nowhere's first trailer looks terrible. Watch in the comments if you dare.
Thanks, Nerdist.
That's what Nerdist said. They said, watch in the comments if
really
you dare. I don't know what
that.
happened to Nerdist. Nerdist used to be run by Chris Hardwick, and they would do, updates. They had like Jessica Chobot.
Yeah.
Right?
I remember.
She was on there.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Then it kind of went with this guy, Kyle, for a while. And they had
Kyle
this
for
other
a
guy
while.
named Kyle. Who, that wasn't his name, but that would have been a good one.
That'd be great.
Then all of a sudden, it's like they just kind of dropped off and stopped doing stuff, and their page will just randomly post stuff like this with like a super hard opinion on it. And I don't understand.
Yeah.
Did someone buy the IP and go crazy with it? I just don't know
happening.
what are they going for. They routinely post things on my timeline that are super old, and like the top comments will be like, "Why is this? What's happening? Why are you doing
Why is this here? Stop this."
You know how people react to Wendy's on social media with all the out-of-pocket
Yes.
stuff that account
Yes.
says? That's the reactions Nerdist gets now. It's like, why talk about this? Who brought this up?
Who did this?
Nobody. Absolutely nobody. And then Post Malone says his next album will be way more traditional country, more fiddle, pedal, steel, guitar solos.
Interesting.
Via Country Music News.
I don't like country music. I'm probably not going to listen to that album, to be quite honest with you. I do like that a lot of modern artists these days are like genre hopping. I think that's cool.
I think it has something to do with age.
The genre hopping?
Post Malone got older.
Mm-hmm.
He, because he started with rap and doing a lot of that stuff. You see the cringy YouTube videos he was doing way back in the day. Then he gets all of his tattoos lasered off his face, and he does one sort of pop country album, has a good time doing it, and now
we had the pop phase too. He had like his original rap, then kind of like the poppy phase, celebration stuff like that.
Yeah, but then he had like the last album was like pop country.
Yes,
and
yes. And then he went with pop.
I'm only saying that to bring up the fact that he says this one will be traditional country. So now he's doing that thing that, and this happens to a lot of country artists, that you kind of sound like Taylor Swift, and if you just change out the banjo for like pop music, it's the same song.
Yeah.
Pop country.
Yeah.
Essentially, a lot of country music that gets really popular on the charts is like that. And then you have people who like old country, 90s country, things where there's actually good music in there. Post Malone is going to, in the part of his musical career where he wants to seek that validation that some people seem to crave in that arena. Like,
I mean, the dude
I've never felt that way, but other people.
The dude is
like,
a good musician. Yeah, he's a good musician, and he appreciates good music. So like, I have no doubt that it'll be good music. It just probably won't be for me. Like, I'll listen to a song, like a single, when it comes out to see what he's doing. But yeah.
This is just a meme I wanted to show you. It's Willie Nelson blowing a big THC cloud. It says, "I hope the temperature isn't too high today," and they're like, "The temperature."
It was over 100 degrees, like real feel or whatever here yesterday.
That's not good. That's not how you want it to feel.
I laid out in the sun. It was great.
Which one do we want to do last? Okay, we'll do this one. Last. Next.
What is this?
Do you know what show that is?
Nope.
That is a show called Mind Hunter, my friend.
Okay.
Mind Hunter is an amazing show. I mean, 93% love it. It's a thriller. It's about FBI agents going to interview like serial killers after they get caught, they're trying to find killers.
Okay.
And so there's actually been an update on Mind Hunter, and I'm trying to find it because I didn't save that part.
Is it fiction or is it like kind of documentary style?
It's sort of no. These are real.
This is real.
Set back in time. It's set back in time. David Fincher might
So
revive true crime series Mindhunter at the movies. Is how he's going to bring it back.
Oh,
it's a cult favorite true crime series about FBI profiling of serial killers.
True crime series, got it.
Got 2 seasons and never came back. Everyone wanted it back. The cast is fantastic. Those 2 guys right there are fantastic. Trio of films is how it could be reborn. They might bring it back as a trio of films instead of doing a TV series.
Interesting. I haven't seen the TV series. Would it translate well to movie?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I would try to watch more than one episode in a sitting.
Yeah. I take it it's a little more than just them sitting in the room talking with the prisoner.
Yeah, well, it's the people who are playing these real life serial killers that you know. Like it's like Manson, like Charles Manson.
Yeah. I figured you didn't mean Maryland.
Reach out and touch Netflix.
What
Capri
is
Sun
that?
Unveils a 15-inch juice pouch to celebrate the longest day of summer.
Oh my gosh.
This was a lot of places. We got the meme courtesy of World Star.
That's insane. Okay, is this real? I have to ask. Is it real?
Can you look it up? Why don't you give that a Google real quick? I wanted to know, is it real or not? Because that's exactly what I wrote. Is this real? That's what I wanted to talk about. Would you want one?
Let's see. Yeah, it's sold out somewhere according to USA Today.
Imagine that.
It sold out after it was released earlier this week. Yeah, so that was legit. Yep. That's wild.
I've always wanted an adult Capri Sun, one with a little bit more in it. That seems like a lot.
How come they haven't gotten into like the seltzer game, the alcohol game? Like every single, like Mountain Dew has alcohol now. Like it's kind of crazy that everyone knows Capri Sun. Everyone drank it as a kid. People would probably go in on Capri Sun seltzer or something.
Frozen Capri Sun pouch, Capri Sun punch.
Oh, is it a thing?
I don't. I think it's just a recipe to make one with make a cocktail with it.
It's an idea. Quick.
Yeah, adult Capri Sun is definitely a drink you can make.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Steal that idea.
There's too many seltzers. I don't want to try any of them anymore. It used to be like they would kind of trickle out and somebody would be like, I got these new seltzers. You want to try one? And now it's like, it's too much.
Total saturation of the market for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's too much.
There's a really good one that I've had recently though. Florida seltzer. Shout out.
Won't you marry it?
But that's what I love watching.
Ellie gets it. Yeah.
Elliot's stuck in Miami today. He said, have a good show, boys.
Stuck in Miami.
Hey, what?
All right, is that it? Is that all we have to talk about?
I think so. Yeah, we covered a lot of sports, covered some good entertainment stuff. Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Well, we'll look forward to the next F1 race. Like I said, follow the Substack
Austria.
or find me on any tracking apps if you want to follow the bets. I don't know if Sean's getting involved in on it or not. I'm not going to put him in a spot.
He said as he slowly takes a sip of his drink.
I never even gave up the mic. I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't even talk about it. Do. For Sean and for myself, this has been the Wit and Grit Podcast. Like and subscribe. Like we said, the bets went out on the podcast first. Come get them here. I didn't even put them in. If enough of you are watching, I won't even get these bets. They might be gone. You might move the number.
They got to you before they got to his phone.
Exactly.
Have a good week, everybody.
Peace.